Shalom, shalom, family. This video most likely will not be a very popular one. It's going to get me in a lot of trouble. It's going to get me in a lot of trouble because it's going to expose some inconsistencies. And that's being nice. It's going to expose lies that my brothers have created, things that they purposely overlook, hoping that you would not see them. But I'm going to expose it in this video. One very important thing that is going on even today in the land of our captivity. Now, I want to preface this by saying I am a Hebrew Israelite. I believe that my ancestors who were brought here to America during the transatlantic slave trade are the descendants of 12 tribes that God called Israel in Exodus chapter 3 or 4, I think it is. You can look it up. It's there. We know it's there. Thus shall you say to Pharaoh, Israel is my son, my firstborn. Now, of course, that there's a lot of explaining to do when it comes to that particular scripture. And we'll explain that at another time. But I'm pretty much tired of the lying, the lies, the lying that both sides are doing, Christians and Hebrew Israelites. And you both sound rather, I'm trying to be nice, but it's hard. You sound rather stupid. And you only sound that way because you've invested your precious time in trying to feel special. That's both Christian, those who claim to be Christian, and both Hebrew Israelite, Gentiles, and the genetic sons of Yaakov. You both sound moronic, sound silly, sound rather stupid by spewing all of these lies because you want to feel special. And if that gets a lot of subscribers removed from my page and my channel, well, so be it. I only want those who want to understand the truth anyway. And here's the truth. In Ezekiel 36, we have Ezekiel. He wrote the word of God down, the word that Yahuwah spoke to him. And we'll start at verse 1. It says, also, thou son of man, this is Yahuwah speaking, prophesy unto the mountains of Yisrael, and say, ye mountains of Yisrael, hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, because the enemy have said against you, he's talking about the mountains of Yisrael, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, or Yahuwah Elohim, because they have made you desolate, that is the land, and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the remnant of the heathen. Now, I'll admit the King James has a very terrible problem in making nouns singular when they are in fact in Hebrew plural. And I'm going to show you the word. Now, let's see. Adonai, Yahuwah, and it is, where is Goyim? Right here. Ha Goyim. Ha Goyim. And as you can see, it is common masculine plural. It's noun. It's nations. So he's talking to the nations. He's talking about the nations. Residue, the term residue here is in Hebrew is remnant. Remnant of the nations. And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and are an infamy of the people. And so Ezekiel is prophesying to the mountains of Israel, that is the land of Israel. And he said in this prophecy, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the remnant of the nations. Now, who is the remnant of the nations that has made the mountain of Israel a possession? That is the people who are currently in the land today. That's who the prophecy is about. He says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahuwah Elohim. Thus say Yahuwah Elohim to the mountains. Yahuwah is speaking to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken. This can't be a description of Southern Africa, Ronald Dalton, which became a prey and derision to the remnant of the nations that are round about. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the remnant of the nations, and against all Adumia, that is Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart. Now he described his land because he spoke to it. He spoke to the mountains of Israel, saying, thus saith the Lord, or Yahuwah Elohim, to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the waste places, the desolate places, and to the cities that are forsaken. That's why they are desolate, which become a prey and derision, or became a prey and derision to the remnant of the heathen. And so in the fire of his jealousy, he has spoken against the remnant of the heathen and against all Adumia, Edom, which have appointed his land into their possession with the joy of all their hearts, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers, to the valleys, the same description in verse 4. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, look, I have spoken in my jealousy, and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the nations. The land of Israel has borne the shame of the nations. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, I have lifted up my hand, surely, without doubt, the nations that are about you, they shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Israel, he's talking about the land, ye shall shoot forth your branches. You shall start to come back to life again and yield your fruit to my people of, let's go to it in the Hebrew. Where are we? To my people, Yisrael, my people of, to my people, Yisrael, because or for uh lebo, which is that is to come, uh for they are at hand or near to come, or near to come. For look, I am for you, and I will turn to you, and ye shall be tilted and tilled and sown. In other words, he's saying that there are going to be people that comes to back to the land after he gets rid of the residue of the heathen or the remnant of the nations. It's gonna his people, Israel, is near to come. So he's gonna remove the remnant of the heathen, and he's going to bring back his people of Israel, of Israel. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn to you. He's talking to the land, and ye shall be tilled and sown. And I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel. The house of Israel is the family of Israel, all of it. And the cities shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be rebuilt. And I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better unto you than at your beginning. At whose beginning? The house of Israel, whom he called Israel. I bet that's a weird one for you. How can you be the house of Israel and how can you be Israel at the same time? And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. Yea, I will cause men to walk upon you. He's talking about the land, even my people, Yisrael. And they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be their inheritance, and thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men. And I know that the King James is a terrible translation. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, because they say unto you, the land devoureth up men, and has bereaved thy nations. Let's look at that real quick. Okay. You're goy, and this is, okay, plural. Okay. Where are we? thy nations. Verse 14. Therefore thou shalt devour men no more. He's talking about the land. Neither bereave thy nations anymore. He's talking about the house of Israel, saith the Lord God. Neither will I cause men to hear in thee the shame of the nations anymore. Neither shalt thou bear the reproach of the people anymore. Neither shall or will you cause thy nations, that he's talking about Israel, the house of Israel, to fall anymore, saith Yahuwah Elohim. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of a man, when the house of Israel dwelled in their own land, when they dwelt in the land of the Canaanites, the land of Ham or Cham or Kemet, that is the Levant, that was the land of Ham. They defiled it by their own way. Now, when he says own way, all you have to do is look at Isaiah, I think 55, where God says, "My way is not your way, and my thoughts are not your thoughts." He's the Isaiah is writing uh, the technique of parallelism, where one phrase on one side of the "and" in the sentence means the same thing as the other phrase on the other side of the "and," the conjunction "and." And so ways and thoughts mean the same thing. So they defiled the land, their own land, the land that they dwelled in, by their own way or own thoughts and by their doings. So you do according to how you think. And so their thoughts cause them to do things that defile the land. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. And what he's talking about here is found in the law of Moses, where a woman, when she is on that time of the month event, she is considered unclean and has to be separated from her husband for 7 days. If not, whatever she touches in the house, if the husband touches it, the husband will be considered unclean, because at the time that that woman is on her monthly issue, according to the Torah of Moshe, that woman is unclean for 7 days until the seventh day. And then she has to do parabolic rituals to become clean again. But the point that God is saying is that when they were in their own land, they defiled it by their own way, how they thought, and by their doings, how they acted. Their way or their thoughts were before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman, a woman who is on that monthly issue. And so what God is saying, that he cast the house of Israel from the land because they defiled the land, and God's name is in that land. So what do you think his name would have been? It would have been defiled if he allowed them to stay there, because their way was before him as an unclean woman. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they have polluted it, that is the land. The blood that they shed is the children that they sacrifice in the fire of Molech. The things that they were doing in the land by worshiping other gods, they polluted it. And because they polluted it, Yahuwah said, and I scattered them among the heathen. And again, the King James is showing their unique issue with taking a noun, making it singular, when in fact in Hebrew it is plural. And I will show you again. In Ba Goyim means in the nations. It's plural. Look, masculine, plural, absolute. Goy is singular, goyim is plural. And I scattered them among the nations, and they were dispersed throughout the countries. And he's talking about the fact that God cast the house of Israel from the land that they took in possession by taking it from the Canaanites. And when did God cast them from the land? It started in 70 AD. And they were dispersed, scattered throughout the countries, not according to God, but according to their way that forced God to expel them from the land. And a lot of Hebrew Israelites have a big problem with admitting that they are in the land of their captivity because our fathers defiled the land. They defiled the land by doing things that they ought not do. They wasn't defiled or they wasn't scattered because they revolted, or what's the term that I want to use here? Because they refused to convert to Christianity. That's absurd. That is absurd. Many of them were crypto Jews, pretending to be Christian and practicing Judaism in a hidden place. So you can't say that they were cast out from the land because they refused to convert to Christianity. They were cast out of the land for a specific reason. It says here, according to their way and according to their doings, I judged them. When they were cast out in 70 AD, they were cast out because they refused to believe that Yahushua HaMashiach was the Messiah, was the Mashiach. In the land before that time, you had Yahudim who were followers of the way, or according to Acts chapter, I think it was 7 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were called Christianos, which means slaves of the Anointed One. They were called slaves of the Anointed One. And I translate Christianos that way because Paul talks extensively about being a slave to righteousness. And what that means is if a person is a slave, he must listen and obey attentively his master. And in order to become righteous, one must believe the truth. You must believe the truth. Belief in the truth is the exercise of mental activity. Belief starts in the mind, how you think about a body of information. And if you believe that body of information that speaks about Mashiach, you gain righteousness. You show your works. Faith without works is dead. You show your works. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery. Those 10 words that Moshe brought down from the mountain on stone tablets, you showed those works because of your belief in the body of information. That body of information gives you insight into the truth, the objective truth. Anything that is believed based on opinions and emotions without any evidence is subjective. And so righteousness is gained by belief in the truth. It is a mental activity. Your actions follow. Your actions follow. So if one is to be holy or separated from the world and the world's way of doing things, you have to have a belief in the truth. And so God said, according to their way or their thoughts and according to their doings, he judged them. And how did he judge them? He scattered them among the nations. Verse 20. And when they entered unto the nations or into the nations, wherever they went, they profaned my holy name. So now this is talking about after 70 AD. This is a prophecy about after 70 AD. Because it is after 70 AD that they were scattered among the nations. And he says that when they entered into the nations, wherever they went, they profaned my holy name. How? When they said to them, these are the people of Yahuwah and are gone forth out of his land. That statement profaned God's holy name. And what is he saying here? He is saying, you are not the people of Yahuwah. That's profaning my name. That is how you profane his holy name. When they said to them, that is the nations, these are the people of the Lord and are gone forth out of his land. Now, some might have a disagreement with that. Well, thank Yahuwah that Ezekiel double down on the next verse when he says, Yahuwah said this, but I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the nations, wherever they went. And how did they profane the name of Yahuwah? He says it in verse 20. And when they entered unto the nations, wherever they went, they profaned my holy name when they said to them, that is the nations, these are the people of Yahuwah. Oh, so there's a big problem, because you have morons going around saying that because we are the sons of Yaakov, whom God called Yisrael, and then took the name Yisrael and gave it to his descendants and called them all collectively Yisrael for a purpose which you don't know because you can't see it. He says they were scattered among the nations and profaned my holy name when they said to them, these are the people of Yahuwah, and are gone forth out of his land. That's God's land. But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the nations, whether they went. Therefore, say unto the house of Yisrael, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, I do not this for your sake. I do not do this for your sakes, O house of Yisrael, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, the nations, whether ye went. And I will sanctify, make holy my great name, which was profaned among the nations, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. Talking to the house of Israel and saying that they profane his great name in the midst of the nations. And the nations shall know that I am Yahuwah, saith Yahuwah Elohim, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. So God is going to sanctify when I shall be sanctified. He's going to sanctify himself in the house of Israel before the eyes of the nations. What do you think about that? That is a mystery. How can God sanctify himself in the house of Israel before the eyes of the nation when he said he's going to sanctify his great name? Could it be that God and his name are one and the same? I'll let you figure that one out. I already know. Verse 24, for I will take you from among the nations and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Then, after he has done that, will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness and from all your idols, even among the nations, God still considers you filthy and still sees you as worshiping idols. And you still in and among the nations saying that you are the people of Yahuwah. And God says, no, you're not. No, you're not. Not right now. Not right now. Not until I sprinkle clean water on you and you will be clean from all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you, and a new heart, mind, also will I give you, and a new ruach will I put within you. All of this happens once he takes you from among the heathens, from among the nations where you were scattered. So if you are in the land of your captivity, you need to think about the fact that clean water has not been sprinkled upon you. Therefore, you are still filthy and you are still dirty from all your idols that you are still worshiping today. And you still have an old heart, an old mind. That's evident because you are right now profaning his name by calling yourself his people. He cut you off. He cut you off from being a people of Yahuwah. That's what you don't understand right now. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall know, and ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people after he cleanses you when he brings you back to the land. Not before. Not before. Not before. Because in verse 20, he says that you are among the heathens and you profane his name when you said that you were the people of Yahuwah. And it is not until after he brings you back to the land, sprinkles clean water on you, and cleanses you from your filthiness and your idols, gives you a new heart and a new spirit he puts in you, and takes away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh, and I will put my spirit within you. The spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. And you have the nerve to say that you understand the way of Yahuwah by claiming that you have his spirit within you when you are obviously still defiling his name, because you would not be calling yourself the people of Yahuwah, because you would understand that in the land of your captivity, he cast you from the land because your ancestors were doing evil things and thinking evil ways. Verse 28, and ye shall dwell in the land that I gave you to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Powerful statement there. And I will also save you from all your uncleanness, salvation, from all your cleanness. And I will call for the corn and will increase it and lay no famine upon you. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field. Sounds like everything that was desolate, Ronald Dalton, is going to come back to life when they go into the land. So you're looking at the plush greenery in southern, western, and whatever part of Africa that is green that you keep promoting. That ain't the place. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the nations. And what he said there is, in the land of your captivity, you were struggling because I sent you. I cast you out. I put the curses upon you of Deuteronomy 28. But when I bring you back, clean you up, clothe you, put you in your right mind, I will increase the land. I will call for the corn. I will multiply the fruit of the trees. I will increase the field, that you shall no more receive no more reproach of having lack among the Gentiles, the nations. Then shall ye remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good. And I know that this is true because a lot of you are spewing lies, thinking that you are righteous right now. You just became awakened to the fact that your descendants, your ancestors were the descendants of the ancient Israelites, the sons of Yaakov, and based on that fact, you think you are somebody. You think you are special. But God says you still filthy and you still dirty and you still worshiping your idols in the land of your captivity among the nations. And you're doing that because you profane his holy name by saying that you are the people of Yahuwah when you are not. Of course, those people who are in Yisrael, the land of Yisrael right now, are not the people of God. But baby, neither are you. Not until you come back to Yahuwah. Not until you come back to the teachings of Yahushua Hamashiach. Some people say, oh, I'm Old Testament. You don't even know what to believe in the law and the prophets. You have no complete idea. You didn't even understand this in Ezekiel 36. And it says clear as day that you profane Yahuwah's holy name by saying that you were the people of Yahuwah while being in the land of your captivity among the nations. It says, then ye shall remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall loaf yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. Not for your sakes do I do this, saith Yahuwah Elohim. Be it known unto you. You better understand that he is not going to clean you up. He is not going to save you from all your uncleanness. He's not doing it for your sake. Be it known unto you, verse 32. Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, that is, your own thoughts, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord God, or Yahuwah Elohim, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities. When does that happen? When he brings you back to the land. I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the waste places shall be rebuilt. And the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that passed by. And they shall say, this land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden. Like the Garden of Eden. It did not say it has become the Garden of Eden or that it was the Garden of Eden. It says like the Garden of Eden. And the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited. Then the nations that are left around round about you shall know that I, Yahuwah, build the ruined places and plant that was desolate. I, Yahuwah, have spoken it, and I will do it. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, I will yet for this be inquired of by the house of Israel to do it for them. I will increase them with men like a flock, as the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem in her solemn feast. So will the waste cities be filled with flocks of men, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah. Shalom.